Alrighty, here I am entering into a sat, and I'm pumping this sat into a rhythmic sat. This is the move that leads up to the infinity tumble. So I'm pumping it from a flat down sat into a 9 or a 10 o'clock position. And yeah, this is just the move I'm working on lately. The next one right here, this is your helicopter. This is what they look like from the ground. That's why I wanted to show you guys this footage. This is what I'm going for. I've been working on this maneuver for about a year. It's real complicated. I hit about 80% of them now. But that right there is a nice smooth exit. That's what we're looking for on exits and entries and how stable it was in the maneuver. And here I am a couple days later on the blackout. Now this wing is also a helicopter machine. I enter this one all right, but then I just correct it, which is kind of a hard way to explain how you correct a helicopter. I'm not even sure if you can actually do it. You just kind of figure it out one day. But yeah, that is like my fourth helicopter on this run. I'm up probably 1,400 feet, and the wind is blowing me away from shore. But things are going good. I hit every single heli on this run, so I'm getting real confident. And I actually switched over to this blackout because I was doing them on the Imily Air G, and that is a phenomenal glider. It has really good brake input. It's really good for helicopters, but it's not as stable in bumpier conditions, and it was a little bit thermic today. So I switched over to the blackout, which just handles the thermals. It cuts right through them, and it's just a more solid glider. I like them both equally though. It just depends on the day, depends on what I'm going for. But yeah, so that right there is my second heli on this video, my sixth one of this run. Things are going good. I'm real confident. I'm low now. I'm looking at where I gotta land, thinking about things. I'm going, you know, I've hit every single heli. I've been correcting them when I'm spinning. I've been doing the exits really well. Let's just go for one more heli. 4 or 5 turns before, and then I'll get out of it, and then I'll just land right on shore. So here goes the entrance, and I kind of goofed it a little bit. And now I'm trying to correct it, and it's not correcting. And I'm kind of getting it, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta go. It's time to go. So the glider oscillates to the left, then to the right, and then back to the left, and I'm losing a whole bunch of altitude while this is going on. I finally get it straight. I turn back towards into the wind, which is where my landing is, and I knew I wasn't making it. I just knew it. I could just tell. And my GoPro sometimes leaks water, so I pull it off my knee, and I hold it up in the air so that it doesn't get wet, and there I am about 100 feet from shore, right in the drain. And I can't tell you how upset I was at myself for this. I've gotten away with these low helis weekend after weekend, and this one finally caught up to me. I was even reprimanded by Woody. Like the weekend before, he was like, man, you gotta watch it, you know? And I was just like, oh, you know, I'm hitting them all. I'm hitting all of them. Which is the same excuse that everybody uses on every single accident or mistake that they make in paramotoring or paragliding. I always get away with it. But yep, so I'm in the water. I'm trying not to get my feet caught in the lines. I got Woody's glove in my mouth. See, Woody lost his left glove. I lost my right glove, so we were swapping gloves all day. But the main thing here is I didn't feel it necessary to inflate my flotation because my acro harness floats really well. I knew the boat was coming over. Woody is an excellent lifeguard and swimmer, and I wasn't in any danger, so I didn't need to pop off the flotation. But yeah, this is what I get, guys, for doing acro too low.
I was hoping to keep my gloves dry, you know.
Hey guys, just to wrap up this video, yeah, that day, that was just me basically getting away with something over and over again for months probably. Doing low helicopters, getting better at helicopters, better on the entries, better on correcting them, better on exits. I was able to do them on almost every glider I think I've flown up until that point, except for the reflex gliders. And so I was just overconfident. So I got low. I was doing the helis, and did that one last heli, and the exit, what happened was I rushed it. I knew I was low, so I tried to get into it faster. You got to get into these things the right way. Once I was in it, I was trying to force the correction. I wasn't waiting, I wasn't being patient. And then on the exit, I said, okay, I got to exit. So I didn't do anything clean. I just did it as quick as possible. And then the glider went to this. I've never had this happen before, where the glider is not flying, it's in parachutal, but it oscillates all the way to one side, and you actually slip underneath the glider, lose a bunch of altitude, and then it comes back this direction. And I wasn't quite sure how to correct it because it was parachutal and not flying. If I would have hit brake, it would have possibly knocked it back into a spin. So I was just trying to get the glider to move forward, and it went back and forth like 3 times, maybe 4 times. And it finally came out and started flying. And when I turned and saw that water, yeah, it was way too low. And recently I've actually had a lot of close calls like that. The day before, I was doing helicopters, and the wind was coming the same direction. It was blowing me offshore. I did a bunch of them. I was nice and high. I turned back into the wind. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it back to shore, and I landed on shore. The next run after that, I did my last heli. I turned towards shore, and I'm headed towards shore, and I knew I wasn't going to make it because of the headwind. So I reached out, I hooked my speed bar in, I put my hands behind my risers, I kicked my feet out in front of me, like trying to get every little inch of penetration and efficiency that I could. And as I got closer, I got a little bit lower out of the higher winds. I pulled actually I have trimmers on the blackout as well. So I let the trimmers out. I got back in, I pulled the trimmers in. I went for maximum glide on my brakes. And I'm not joking you when I say I landed like there was water, and then 8 inches after water was where I landed, like on the land. And I should have taken that as a warning. The weekend before this, I was actually at a fly-in, and I was foot dragging this this river, and there was a spot where it came up and it did like a nice turn like this, and there's trees over here, and I came by and I followed the river with my feet in the water, and I felt that glider snag a tree and actually break loose of the tree and keep going. So I had too many warnings, man. I had the one at the flying event. I had 2 of them the day before that I got away with, and this last one was just, you know, I didn't listen to the universe, and sure enough I got wet, but I learned my lesson. And I'm posting this so hopefully you guys can not be irresponsible like me sometimes and make better decisions with how low you're going to do acrobatics and fool around and do freestyle and stuff. Because really, you know, we're part of the reason I'll be a little reckless is, in full honesty, is because I have flotation. I have 2 reserves. The guys driving in the boat are pretty experienced. They're great at swimming. I trust them with my life, no doubt. And we're over water, so the worst that can happen is, you know, the second worst thing that can happen is you get wet. The worst thing is something really bad happens, but the really dangerous stuff I only mess with up high. But, you know, it's still, you gotta practice good principles. You gotta have good habits. And once you start getting away from your normal habits and the standards and the rules that you first set out with your crew, with your buddies, that your instructors give you, all that, once you start deviating from that, it's just a dirty road to go down, and it can lead to accidents. Sometimes it's only getting gear wet and having to repack reserves, and sometimes it can be broken bones or worse. So, all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see these videos, keep on coming. Just go ahead and feel free to subscribe, and thanks a lot, guys. Have a good one.